So a few days ago, we all saw key pumped like 400% or something like that. Incredible, right? In this bear market, we don't see pumps like that happen regularly. So I was intrigued. Okay, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna look into this and find out what's going on. But of course, it's probably some pump group or something. Like there's no uh, recurrence with any other thing in the market. But I noticed that key was a low Satoshi coin, right? It's one of those single digit, double digit, Satoshi coins. And we have this meme in crypto like the low Satoshis pump more than the high Satoshis. So I decided I decided to put the meme to the test. I'm like a mythbusters, but for crypto. Um. So yeah, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna put the meme to the test. I'm gonna look at low sats, high sats, low caps, high caps, low volume coins, and high volume coins on Binance. I decided, you know what, I'll pick the top five in each one of these sections, put them together, and then I would look at the distance from the bottom, right? So the bounce from the all-time low to the current price, and decide with that general metric whether or not um, these coins, just to find out which ones are more profitable, just to test out the meme, right? So if you look at this Excel spreadsheet that I have here, you'll notice I picked out the top five in each one of these sections, and of course, a lot of them sort of overlap when you get to the high sats and high caps, but the low sats and low caps are kind of different. So I picked the low sats. I picked uh, HOT, Holo, Coscos, and Cash, mainframe token, and Sia coin. Right? Everyone knows most of these. I mean, everyone knows mostly. Mainframe is the coin that just kept going down and would never pump. Holo was a popular meme for a long time back then. Yeah, so I picked these five, I put them together, added them all up, and then divided by five in TradingView.com, right? And of course, the results were interesting. All right, if you look here, you'll see from the bottom to the current price is about a 31% bounce, right? Interesting. It's not that much, but it's interesting. Also, notice that key isn't in this group right now, but we'll get to some possible errors with the methodology later. Yeah. So next one was low caps. I put together all the low caps. I put together Loon, which is like a lunar, BCPT, which is I'm not even sure what that is. I'm not sure what most of these coins are, to be honest. APPC, POA, and ARN. I put together these five again, divided by five. And if you look, the returns are higher. The low cap coins actually have a higher bounce return than the low sat coins, right? 42% compared to the last 31%. That's interesting. Almost a 50% bounce from the bottom. So then we moved on to the big boys, right? The high cap coins, ETH, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, EOS, and yeah, that's it. Put together these five, divide by five. Results are interesting. 11%, right? So it's significantly way lower than the low sats and the low caps. But if you check the high cap coins with the high sat coins, right? high sat coins and high cap coins are actually pretty similar. You see some names reoccur. BCH, Ethereum, Dash, XMR, and Litecoin. Right? If you put those five together, divide by 5, you get 9.2%. 9.2% bounce from the bottom. So you notice that high caps are more volatile. That's the right word to say, right? Volatile, but they're more volatile and they've generated better returns than high sats. But they've both generated less return than low sats and low caps, right? Interesting. I decided to still look at some two random segments just to as a benchmark, right? So I looked at some low volume coins and some high volume coins, because some people think, oh, market cap doesn't matter, liquid volume is what really matters, because that's where you get your volatility from, right? So low volume coins, NAV, NEBL, QSC, Syscoin, and Viacoin, right? Add these 5 together, divide by 5, 14% bounce from the bottom to current price. Interesting. It's not as good as the low sats and the low caps, but it's better than the high sats and the high caps. High volume coins: Ethereum, Binance Bitcoin, XRP, Ripple, Link, and EOS. What is the real name for EOS anyways? I mean, this is the ticket, right? So what's the real name? Anyone know? I have no idea. Yeah, but if you add these 5 together, divide by 5, you get 8%. Now, it's interesting that the meme is somewhat true. The low sat coins do have more volatility than anything else, but it's interesting to notice that the low cap coins have more volatility than the low sat coins, right? They generate more returns. But again, if you look at the Excel spreadsheet here, I've put together all the numbers, all the returns. You can see that you can see each segment and what they've returned. Now let's talk about some possible errors in this methodology. Now, like obviously with low sat coins, when something pumps, it leaves the low sat coin, or it leaves the low sat range. So like what's left is always gonna be not as great as what's been there, right? So like I said, Key, which pumped for Forex, is no longer in this low sat grouping that I picked out. So there is some possible error in this methodology. It's not perfect, and again, I decided to look at all-time low price to current price instead of maybe the bounce from all-time low to wherever it went, right? I could have looked at the bounce from the lowest all-time low to the most recent high, right, instead of looking to the current price. But again, this is like a general rough estimate. It's not supposed to be like an exact I'm not doing a thesis paper here. This is not for my master's degree or whatever. Yeah, so this if you look at the low sat coins, 31% versus 41%. The two numbers there is because so when I did the calculation once, I used random exchanges, right? I used random exchanges. I used some Binance numbers and some Bitfinex numbers and what have you, and that gave me 31%. But when I used all Binance exchange numbers, right, the price history and that kind of thing, I got a 41%. So again, this is like a possible error in the way this metric is calculated, because it's taken in like all the certain exchanges are gonna have certain lows, other exchanges are not gonna have those lows. Current price, price is not exactly like the same on all exchanges. So you get like different numbers here and there. But so that's I just wanted to point that out as a possible error that could have happened. Let's get to some user comments real quick. So some interesting user comments. Shout out Josh Guerrero. I've been seeing your name here and there in the analytics. You asked me to tell you more about my bags. I was kind of joking in that last video. I don't actually want you guys to go, buying whatever it is that I buy. It's not good investment practice to just FOMO something because someone else is bag holding it. But yeah, I mean, if I have something to shill, I'll shill it, and I'll tell you that I'm being completely self-centered when I shill it, right? But I'm not like actually expecting you to just go FOMO things that I hold. Daniel J asking, what is your take on Cardano staking? Cardano is basically like it's the same thing with the other block producer type model where there's like a select group of people. It's not like Tezos where everyone has the authority to just start staking or baking by themselves, right? You have to get permission from certain people, right? That's what I understand it's like. So I'm not entirely sure if I like that model. I mean, like I said, it's not my favorite model of staking. I think it's kind of restrictive. So yeah. Final shout out to Emmanuel Deli Georges. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, thanks for the comment. I really appreciate people who actually like watch through the video. I know what you're talking about there in the last few seconds of the video, and yeah, I appreciate knowing that you actually watched through the whole thing and left a comment. So I appreciate it, man. Thanks.